Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at the 7th figure in Operation Monster Force Season 1, the Sleepwalker Crimson Moon Division. Obviously, this is a... we'll get to how familiar it is once we open it up. I've been reviewing these figures for 2 weeks now, and I love this line so much from Fresh Monkey Fiction. Check out the other reviews. Check out Declan Van Helsing, where I really get into detail about the plastic, the joints, because it's the first figure of a new line, so it's a new experience. But the Sleepwalkers are the troops of the Forgotten King, who is the villain of Operation Monster Force. You can see there's a comic inside the panel giving you some backstory. There's the figure. We gotta open this figure up right now because I am so excited about this whole line. But yesterday I opened the Heavy Weapons Sleepwalker and was absolutely blown away by the customization possibilities of that figure. I had no idea just how much was involved with these Sleepwalker guys. Again, much like I said with Declan Van Helsing, who is a singular character but who has tons of customization potential. But with these guys, no two Sleepwalkers are going to look alike. It's crazy, and we'll get a little more into it in a minute. I'm not going to get as in-depth with the customization today as I did with yesterday's Heavy Weapon Sleepwalker, because it just gets redundant after a while. But you'll see when we get to the accessories, it's absolutely nuts how much these come with and how well designed they are for troop building. Because obviously that's any kind of, whether it's fantasy, military, or whatever, any kind of military themed line, you want to make sure troop building is a possibility. And Fresh Monkey Fiction has been absolutely brilliant with how they've approached it, because all of their troop figures, their soldier figures, are endlessly customizable. I say endlessly, that's probably an overstatement, but again, no two will look alike. Okay, so this is the Crimson Moon Division, taking some cues, obviously, from Action Force, the European G.I. Joe line. This is the same base body as the Heavy Weapon Sleepwalker, because, again, these are troop builders. Like, they are meant to be wearing similarly styled uniforms. So he's got the soft overlay with the soft skirt with the slits in the side, so articulation is not limited. The color palette on this guy is fantastic. The red looks really good, but look at that wash. Gives it what I call the Star Wars look. But the red, black, and white on this is so striking. He's very different from anything else on the shelf. The plastic on all of these feels really nice. But I will say, okay, well, no, that's moving well. Okay, I thought we were going to have a little stuck joint issue, but looks like everything is moving pretty nicely. This is high-quality toy plastic. Like, it feels great. There is a cut at the top of the... Well, maybe there's not on this one. The other boot top's swiveled. It may just be stuck paint, in which case I'll loosen it up later. Got a nice ball joint at the waist there, so as you move this overlay around, you can compensate for waist movement. Lots of dynamic poses for having such a big coat, or such a long coat. Butterfly joints in the shoulders, just like with the one yesterday. The holes here are snug enough that you don't see the plastic underneath just sticking out, looking all horrible. This is the same head. Each of the Sleepwalkers comes with alternate heads. This one was included with the heavy weapons. This is a point of customization that I was talking about. We'll get more into that in a minute. All the swappable parts on these are very easy to swap in and out. You've got C-grips here with the lateral move. Look at that painted detail on that glove. Wonderful. The buttons, the belt buckle. The quality of these figures is far beyond what I expected. These... It's funny, I can't even call them... I can't even say these are... Yeah, we've got some of these swivel joints are going to have to be heated up. So these bicep joints are stuck. This is the first time I've run into this with these, and I'm guessing it's because of the paint. First time I've run into joints stuck like this on these figures. Same thing with these thigh joints. All of the swivel joints are stuck, and stuck pretty good. So I'll be heating this guy up later. Again, this is the first time I've run into this with this line. So there is the figure. I've done this in all the other reviews. I'll just do it quickly here. To me, these work perfectly side by side with G.I. Joe Classified. All right, let's take a look at the accessories that were in the tray. We've got an alternate head. Now, this is the one I'm leaving on my heavy weapons Sleepwalker. And if you notice, again, that customization, you can make this mask look very different from figure to figure. This looks awesome, but I'm thinking of this as the heavy weapons one. Now, you can do whatever you want with any of these. You've got a blaster here that has a very retro-futuristic look to it, sort of a 50s sci-fi. I'm gonna try to remember the name again. I mentioned it yesterday. I'm positive now it was Weta had a branch that was making life-size replicas of made-up fantastical weapons, and it was something along the lines of like Dr. Snodbotter's fantastical armaments of whimsy or something like that. I'm sure if you look up Weta steampunk, you'll come across it. But these all look like they could have come out of that catalog. But just the painted detail, the sculpt, everything. Oh, and the weapon, I've been forgetting to mention this. The weapons are all rigid. They're all good. They don't feel like I wouldn't wiggle this around too much, to be honest. But they're not rubbery at all. These are very well-made, solid accessories. Notice there's a blast port in the front. And then we've got a repaint of the hand blaster that came with the heavy weapons, which is fine. I don't mind a standard issue piece like this. And then finally, as far as the tray accessories go, a number of alternate hands, open gesturing hands, trigger finger hands that do have an up-down on them, and then fist for punching. We're going to hang on to that trigger finger hand because obviously we're going to want to use that on this guy. All of these swappable parts, as I said, swap out very nicely in every figure in this line. Now we get into the bagged accessories, which is where the insanity happens. This is where my mind got utterly blown yesterday by the heavy weapons guy. This is nuts because this is where the customization comes in. First off, the first thing we're going to do with this guy is pop that head off, which that head is great. It has a sort of a skull look to it. The gas mask thing is awesome. It's great. But the head that we want on this fellow is this one right here. Because that, well, you know what? Actually, I think Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will. I think we actually want... Uh-oh, whole neck came out. That top ball joint is snug. There we go. I think what we actually want on this guy is this one. Am I right about that? So just for the time being, and this is the head, by the way, that came with the heavy weapon Sleepwalker, I'm going to leave this for the time being. I'm going to have to do a little online, a little Googling, but I think this is the look that I want to achieve here for nice little red shadows. Look, look, as great as the red is, and it's very cool. Like, I do like the black on there. And if you'll notice, the mask portion matches the belt buckle paint. All right, so let's set him off to the side for now. You've got some blast effects in this crimson color. I decided yesterday I think I like the electricity for this guy, but I don't know. We'll see. And then this is, again, all of that customization. You have 3 different lengths of hoses for depending on how you want imposed, how you want everything to interact. You've got short hoses, medium hoses, and long hoses. And then all of these little parts can be used either with the masks, as I pointed out, or with the backpack and the blaster. So let's try and do something completely different from what we did. So that's not going to work. So let's do this. And again, this is just me being wacky and trying different things. I'm not necessarily going to pose this on the shelf this way. I just want to give you guys the example of, wow, look at what you can achieve. Oh, you've got your potentially your commander insignia there that slides up over the bicep and fits nice and snug. Looks really good. Look, just stick this part out of here. Why not? And then get a... How's that medium hose going to work? Let's see if the medium hose works. But all the ports for the hoses and breathing masks and whatever else are all compatible. So you can do all kinds of crazy combinations of things with these figures. So I'm not going to mess with the trigger guard right now because I'm actually kind of terrified of how thin that plastic is. But there you go. So this is what I did with this guy. This is what I did with this guy, all with the same parts. So again, the customization is just nuts on these. No two need look the same. Do whatever you want with them. And then we've got a nice display stand. I'm not a stand guy, but I acknowledge that these are very classy and nice. I love the font, and they work great. The pegs fit very perfectly, very snugly into the heels. And there you go. There is your Crimson Moon Sleepwalker. Just how mine looks right now. I don't know if he's going to go on the shelf like that or not, but that's just a few minutes of customization. Oh, here, let's put a little effect. There we go. Just a few minutes of customization. That's what mine looks like. What is yours going to look like? Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about needless things. And until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like needless things.